driver. And in the blue corner, from Abaddon MMA, Ryan Dennis.
Let's go. 5 cent on the gate.
We've got to do all remember standing head shots and on the ground, but no elbows and knees to the head, only knees to the body. So pushing out lots of loads, straight into the standing bars, etc. I feel like you're in trouble with any submission, overstepping, any questions. Any questions?
Here we go with the semi-professionals. K Driver from DFS in the red corner versus Dennis in the blue corner from Abaddon. And we shall see what kind of, these guys quite experienced, so we shall see what kind of game plans happen here.
And our first foray into semi-pro mixed martial arts this evening with the featherweights. This will be 3 3-minute rounds, ladies and gentlemen. And you can instantly tell the difference here between the semi-pros and the amateurs. And these guys taking their time, picking their punches, moving around the ring. A little bit more accomplished in the realms of stand-up and taking their time. A bit more ease in the ring than some of the earlier amateurs we saw. But ladies and gents, that comes with time. It's a mileage thing when you're in that cage. Very hard to stay composed. And these guys are showing us exactly what you do in a tactical bout.
Yeah, they definitely are. And Driver doing a really good job, not now, but earlier on, controlling the centre. And Dennis has now opted out to push him up against the fence here. Driver doing a really good job there, defending with the whizzer. And he's defending the takedown, utilising that arm control. And I'd like to see him open up with a few knees here, or some uppercuts.
Yeah, and let's not forget the Driver just dropped a knee a little bit earlier on, and it looked like it hurt Dennis. So let's see if he goes back to that area. Might look like a good target for the young man from DFS.
Yeah, he's fighting for double unders here, which would help him, which would mean that he can get a takedown, throw his opponent to the mat. And this doesn't really look like much, you know, to the untrained eye, but both these guys really tired. You know, this is a really exhausting fight. You're just burning out your arms, you're fighting against your opponent, and it doesn't look like much, but it really is tiring.
Yeah, both of these guys putting on a really tactical mixed martial arts fight here, as we see in the clinch. Just to take a moment to thank our sponsors for this evening, HMT. Here, obviously sponsoring a fight like Steve Gluckstein, who we saw earlier on in the night. Great fighter. Metro Rod drainage service here in Norwich. We'll just take a break as both of these guys come back up to stand up. Also Harley Davidson Black Bear in Norwich, and let's not forget Cannons UK, the guys who make it all happen here at UCMMA Contenders Norwich.
I was quite surprised with that. Dennis actually allowed Driver to stand up, which is quite unusual. So maybe he is afraid of his opponent's ground game. Maybe he knows something that we don't. But you know, he's having quite a bit of success here in this clinch position. So maybe his game plan is just to stay in that and you know, trying to wear out his opponent.
But it is becoming apparent as we move on in this fight that Driver is dangerous when it comes to stand-up, and he's keeping it up here for the time being, looking to drop those big shots. And he's got slick punches, Tomek. He's moving nicely and he's dropping in and out of the guard of Dennis, almost at will when he gets in close.
Yeah, he's definitely slick already there. And not only that, he's actually controlling the centre. He's being more aggressive in terms of the stand-up.
As we move into the final 10 seconds here of round number 1, Tomek, who's taken this one for you so far?
It's hard to call. It's hard to call. But Dennis maybe because of that takedown. Here we go, second of 3 rounds. And once again, Driver just pushing forward, controlling the centre, being the aggressor, and Dennis on the outside, not really doing a lot of stand-up damage.
We've seen some great fights here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some even better ones coming up, including some pro mixed martial arts and some K1 title fights. So stick around here at UCMMA Contenders. It's going to be a fantastic evening. But here we are with Driver versus Dennis. Driver in the black sprawl shorts versus Dennis in the blue bad boy shorts. And it's been good so far. A real fight for the purists, Tomek. A lot of tactical know-how from both of these guys.
Yeah, both these guys really calm and composed, filling each other out. And like I said, I cannot wait for those fights later on. These guys actually put on quite a good display here, very technical, almost relaxed like.
Yeah, and we're back to a similar theme as we saw in round one, and it's Kurtis Driver just maintaining complete and utter control in the centre of the ring here, and Dennis just tiptoeing around him, taking his spots. But so far, it really does look like Driver, who is, pardon the pun, Tomek, in the driver's seat. He is taking this fight almost at will to where he wants it to go.
Yeah, I would agree with the pun there. And yeah, I think Mr. Dennis definitely needs to wake up here and trying to utilise perhaps that clinch and get another takedown, because this clearly isn't really going his way. But you never know, MMA, you never know. And because both guys, they're still quite fresh, they've got a lot in the tank. It only takes one shot, and the fight could be over. So you can never call it till it's over.
And we're honest, it's rare that we see a mixed martial arts bout actually stay standing up for this long. Usually one fighter's looking to take it to the ground. Both these guys seemingly quite content to keep it standing and trade punches and kicks here in the centre of the cage.
Definitely are. They're obviously quite well matched. Similar abilities here. They've got a slip there, but you see Driver's experience capitalising straight away. No hesitation at all. He just, sort of slipped, wants to go in for the kill. So this guy's hungry.
Here we go. Driver's in now, ladies and gents, just in for the clinch. Looked like he was going to be putting on a little bit of a little pressure there to Dennis, but just backed away. Quite happy to keep it at distance and keep pushing his man back. What you do have to remember, ladies and gents, is that on the judges' scorecards, it's going to be the man who's taking the initiative here in the bout. It's going to be the man who's getting on top, who's taking it to his opponent. And so far, neither man has really stepped up and taken this fight by the scruff of the neck, Tomek. Its Drivers look like he's done it, going to do it on occasions, but neither man has really stepped up.
Well, I think in the second round, Driver's definitely the aggressor. He's held the centre for longer and he's been attacking. Dennis seems to be employing a kind of a counter-punching style, but it's not really working that well for him. And it must be said, Driver's footwork is really good.
Here we go.
His footwork is really good.
And now Dennis wakes up with the final 3 seconds on in round number 2. He needs to do that a lot sooner on in the fight to get anywhere here.
Third and final round of our first semi-professional contest this evening. And let's say if either of the guys, cornermen, had a serious word with them and said, change up your game plan because you really need to push this fight if you want the win.
Yeah, let's hope that's the case, because Kurtis Driver showing signs in round number 2 of taking control of the fight, but never really got there. Showed a few spurts of energy, and also Dennis with about 6 seconds to go in the second showing the same. But it seems like both of these guys are a little bit hesitant, almost wary of the other man to really just take the plunge, go in and take control of the bout. Yeah,
they really are pacing. It's almost like they're fighting a 5-minute, 5-round fight here. I would like to see these guys, empty the gas tank. You don't really want to have anything left in the gas tank at the end of that final round.
Yeah, semi-professional mixed martial arts over 3-minute rounds. And these guys, let's not forget, they're featherweights, Tomek, so they should be springing around that ring for all 3 of these rounds. Both guys, there we go, a little bit of an exchange in the centre of the cage. But I fear we might go back to a little bit more of a quiet aftermath after that little exchange. But then again, both these guys featherweights, they should be springing around that ring. They should be firing on all cylinders for all 3 rounds. But it's been a little bit of a hesitant fight so far.
Yeah, it has. I mean, there's a few of these shots are landing, but they're sort of 50%, blows. They're not really 100% punches like we've seen in the previous fights. And there, Dennis cocked his arm back. But I don't think this is going to be really hard fight, to score. Almost impossible in my opinion. It could even be a draw.
It might well be, and it is a little bit of a conundrum, you have to say, for the judges especially. I mean, they want to see someone take the control. They want to see someone dictate where the fight is going. And so far, you could argue that both fighters have tried to do that, but neither man has succeeded. So it's a difficult one for the judges to call. Personally, so far, I've scored Driver ahead on my unofficial scorecard, but mostly that's just because he's been taking centre control of the ring and taking it to Dennis. But Dennis coming over the top with a nice Superman switch there.
Yeah, he's done a little bit more in his third round. Maybe he's working up a little bit. But I do have to agree, Driver perhaps has just done just enough with his footwork, control and aggression to win this fight. And even though Dennis got those 2 takedowns, I really don't think that they're going to be enough.
go. Crowd starting to get into it late on here in round number 3, and both men may be starting to relax. It's only taken about 7 minutes, but they are starting to relax and get into it a little bit more, throw a few shots. Both corners obviously having said to their guys, don't go out all guns blazing, and here we go. It might be, ladies and gentlemen, the first time we've been to the round in the entire fight, and Kurtis Driver was the man with the takedown, but it's Dennis who finds himself in guard.
Yeah, a nice scramble there, and again, difficult to score that exchange, so I really cannot wait to see what the judge is going to say. But Dennis in full control right at the end here. Is it too little, too late?
Just a little bit too late there for Dennis. Maybe next time he'll try that a little bit earlier on in the fight.
Okay, before we go to the judges' scorecards, give both of these young